What's up, y'all? Let's go ahead and just kind of like dive right into it. Number one, everything that you're seeing right now is sent to me by Nanlite. So Nanlite is technically a sponsor of today's video, and for a couple other videos to be real chill too. Like I have a complete arsenal of Nanlite gear that we'll be going over, just so I can kind of show you all how to use this in like practicality, if you will, right? So right now we have the Nanlite 300B Mark II splashed onto the wall with the projector, 500B Mark II right here, and this is only like at 3.2%. We have the Nanlite Paddle 230X on my kicker. We have the 15Xs back there, and then we got another 30X on the ground. So right now we're using a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights to achieve this look. So if you all kind of wonder, like, you know, how can you get your shit to look this good? Well, this is how. Now you all know, usually we have a glass of wine. This is gonna be more of a longer video. So if I start to stumble a little bit, this video does have closed captions, which is provided to us by DaVinci Resolve Auto Subtitles. Let me know how that worked. Comment down below if it's actually picking up my voice and picking up my words pretty accurately. With that being said, I will also try to. So here we go. The long intro, but it was worth it because now we're gonna talk about the Nanlite 720B. As I stated before, Nanlite did provide me this light along with the other lights that you're seeing in this video. And all these lights I'm discussing will be linked down in the description below. So if you are curious and checking these lights out, please use those links because it definitely helps support the channel. So the first thing we're gonna discuss about the Nanlite 720B is gonna be the hardware, right? The actual package to come in. Now, I'm not about to pick this big ass heavy case up for the travel case, but just know the travel case actually has wheels, it's very portable, and you know, you can move it around. So in that case, right, with the actual hardware is the ballast and the light itself, along with some very sturdy cables. It looks like very like carbon fiber-ish. Like I love the look of it. I love the fact that it's all black. It doesn't have too many crazy accent colors on it. It's literally black and white, which is actually the color that of my business. Like I have a black, white, gray theme. So for me, for Brookssmedia itself, again, if you haven't been following me at Brookssmedia everywhere, that's Brookssmedia with 2 S's. If you ain't adding an S, you ain't spelling it right. So hit me on IG if you got any questions about what I'm asking, if I don't answer your question directly in this video. However, the Nanlite 720B has just a premium build to it. But what it does offer, this still is like a kind of a lightweight system. And I say lightweight for the power that it gives. This thing is still heavy as hell, but you know, for what the power that you're getting out of it, like I expect that, you know what I mean? And just to be clear, just in case, you know, if it wasn't made clear before, even though Nanlite send me this stuff, I don't have to say anything positive about it. My job is to create content around it, and my thoughts and opinions are my own. So like, they're not saying this before anybody else. Like this, you know what I'm saying? We still gang over here. This is still a Brookssmedia production. This is still all my stuff. So I can say what I please. That's it. It's just an exchange for review. Now, as you all can see, just from a size standpoint, the 300B Mark II, 500B Mark II, and the 720B, like they all look alike. They all kind of pretty much have the same hardware, with the 300B Mark II being almost twice as small as the 720B, which ironically the 720B is twice as powerful as it. And then the 500B kind of like being like in that middle. And then like I said, you see this, you know, this big old chunky boy, the 720B. This light also take V-mount batteries. You got to use 2, but it only goes up to 40%. When you're using 14.8 volt batteries. I love the ballast and to compare it to something again like a Godox light. Now I was using a Godox VL series, so that's why I'm like kind of comparing it to that and not the no LED, whatever you want to call it from Godox, but nonetheless, the build on this light is definitely comparable to something like you would see on an Aperture. This light right now you can find between $1,500 and $1,800 online. So I expect with a premium price tag like that for the hardware to be as great as it is. Like everything has very clicky and tactile functions, feelings into it, the knob feel premium. This is a premium light for a premium price. To complement this hardware, we also have built-in effects to go with this light as well. So you have things like such as bad bulb, TV explosion, candle, and everything that I'm listing here is actually adjustable. So if you want to adjust the speed and the timing or how fast it flickers on the actual effect itself, you do all that with and through the ballast itself. You also have fan control, max output, constant output. You can change the screen brightness. You can actually lock the button. So, you know, just kind of like the mix panel 150 and like most of the other lights, if you turn this light off and you had it locked before you turned it off, those same settings will still be there and the balance will actually still be locked itself, which I absolutely love because sometimes when you're working on sets, you gotta turn your light off, you need to move it, whatever the case is, you want to keep those settings dialed in for your gaffer. You don't want them to like accidentally bump into something like that. This is a great feature to have just for like you know, consistency standpoint. And this line of work, that's what we want, and that's what Nanlite offers for me, right? Consistency. Because throughout the range of 300 and 500 and 720, like all their lights are consistently clean. I get phenomenal output from them, and I love the way, you know, I just love the way they light my subjects. So if you need a light with effects or something that's powerful, Again, look no further than a 720B. Now, before we get into the pros and cons and the way I use this light and if I recommend it, moving on to the pros. Now, the main pro for me with any light at this particular time, like this coming out, it gotta have app control, and the 720B has app control. So if I wanna control my 60B Mark II, 15X, 30X, 300B, 500B, whatever you name it, I can control that through the NanLink app, which works phenomenally. So if you're familiar with the SinusLink app from Aperture, the NanLink Aperture works just as good. Another pro of mine is it's a powerful bicolor light. Again, it's bicolor. So if I need to kind of adjust the temp of the light, just like how you see here, like that's more of a warm tree pattern on the back of my wall, but this light here is like around what, 5,000, 5,600, I can't remember off the top of my head. Nonetheless, this light has app control, which is something that you definitely want to have when you're doing sets, because like right now, if I was to sit my subject down and I'm gonna kind of test the light, I'll be able to control all these lights, which I just kind of messed up, and I opened the app and I didn't add some of these lights and whatever the case is, but you'll be able to control all these lights, how your subject sit down, and adjust the settings as you see fit, which is a godsend, because sometimes you don't always have, like if you don't have a gaffer and you want to sit there and make sure that your subject is lit well and stuff like that, but you don't have time to be sitting here moving around and changing colors and changing, you know what I'm saying, the, what you call it, help me out, it's on the tip of my tongue, the brightness percentage of your lights. You can do all that from the app, which is just, mwah, chef's kiss. Next is the build quality. Build quality of this light, again, like, I mean, I don't plan on dropping this light, but it's sturdy enough and I trust it, you know what I mean? It has excellent build quality, and I just love the way like this light looks. Again, it matches the theme of my business, so it's an automatic win in my book. Now, it is time for the cons. Believe it or not, I only have one. I kid you not, I only have one con, which is the fact that it does not have green and magenta shift like the other lights. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. That's me reaching for a con, because to be real, I don't adjust the green and magenta shift like that on any of these lights. Like usually in most cases, it looks good straight to me out of the box. Now, but if you are a professional who uses like different lights, like if you use like an Aperture, if you use Godox, and you start to see like on your light meter there, like, hey, they're not matching up, you'll be able to do that with the 300B and a 500B Mark II, but you would not be able to do that with the 720B. The 720B does not have green magenta shift, so I just wish it matched the other lights. If I remember correctly, the 720B came out before the 300B Mark II and the 500B Mark II, so, you know, that's more than likely probably why. Now that we went through the effects, the hardware pros and cons, now to discuss how your boy actually uses it. Now, you all been seeing B-roll of me using this light, but, you know, I had a chance to use this in an extreme situation with me being directly outside. Now, so just know if you outside and you need something like super bright, if you can't get like a 26.8 volt battery, or plug it in, just know with the standard 14.8 volt batteries, V-mount batteries, you are limited to 40%. Now, as you all been seeing B-roll, let's discuss how I actually use this light in my professional settings and in business. Now, I actually had a situation where I had to use this light in an extreme setting, and I use it in combination with the 60B Mark II for a hair light. Now, as you all seeing from here, I actually used the lantern on the 720B, because believe it or not, man, the Fresnel mount that that I have with the 720B, it was actually too bright. Now, granted, I probably was too close, because my subject was like, God damn, bro, can you get the sun direct out of my face? And like, that's what it was. So I actually ended up just using a lantern, pointing direct at the subject, just to kind of add some feel, because I already had the sun out there. And as you all can see from the footage, like, it looks good, especially with the 60B Mark II hitting it from the back. Like, so today we are doing a shoot. And we're using nan light to light this. Now, funny enough, I had to switch this because I was using that Fresnel attachment there, right? I was using the Fresnel attachment, but they said it was too bright, which is not a bad thing. So we are using the lantern around the nan light 720B, which is creating like a very nice field light, and it is combating the sun. Like, the sun is filling in the rest of the space, but this is filling in the shadows for me. And then we have the 60B Mark II here, just as a like a little edge light, just to kind of like make them pop in the background a little bit more. But yeah, everything that you're seeing is powered by nan light. Pause. Especially with the 60B Mark II hitting it from the back, like, it's, you know, it looks, all right, my subject looks pristine, and I love the way it looks, right? Like, the fact that it was a bright, super bright, sunny day outside, and the fact that this 720B acted as like pretty much like a field light, just to make sure they're not like too dark and too much into the shadows. It did that exactly the way I needed it to. And believe it or not, I still didn't have to go to 100%, right? So if you need a light that can combat the sun even in outside environments, and you don't want to use like the cone that comes with it or the Fresnel attachment, if you have the nan light lantern, which I'll link down in the description below, it would actually still light your subject in direct sunlight. And I mean, as you all can see, man, it was bright as hell out there. as you all just, you know, now after we went through everything, you saw how I use it in my use case for interviews, specifically for interviews. I could definitely use this for like music films or, you know, any other type of doc work that I'm doing. This light can still be used for that, but I've been using it in interview scenarios specifically. Do I recommend this light? That's the question that should be answered right now, right? And depending on where you are in your field, I 100% yes. And I'm gonna tell you why, because there were times I was using the Godox VL200, I was using the Nanlite 300, and sometimes, man, like that's just not enough power. I've definitely been in situations where lights beyond, like below 300 watts is just not enough. I've actually been in a situation where the 600 watts is not enough. With that being said, man, make sure you all give me a thumbs up, comment down below what you liked about the video, or what you know, if you have any specific questions about the Nanlite 720B, please ask me down below. If you don't want to ask me here, ask me on Instagram. Again, that's Instagram at Brookssmedia with 2 S's. You want to add the S, you ain't spelling it right. Deuces.